Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of NC-17. I'm Josh. This is Lisa.
Oh,
How you doing today, Lisa?
pretty good, pretty good.
Eh,
Been
uh,
busy.
oh yeah. Rumor has it you're on the last scene of your book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
It's weird. It's a weird feeling.
It's gotta be a feeling of accomplishment though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean that's always a good thing. You know, uh so we'll get right into it. First, I want to say thank you to Spin City slash Static Tape for being our sponsor. You will be seeing them live with us on the last weekend of July because we will be at Motor City Nightmares. They have all your physical media needs, VHS, DVD, everything under the sun. Okay, so the poll that we had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Lost Boys won unanimously, almost. Lost Boys won.
Yeah.
Okay,
I kind
so
I kind of expected that though, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. I mean, so you watched it.
Yep.
All right, so give your take on it, what you thought of it, what you would grade it, and everything like that.
I mean, it was like plot-wise, it was kind of slow at first, but then like once the violence actually started happening, I was like, you know what? Yeah, okay, I can get into this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
And there are definitely some iconic scenes in that movie that like people reference all the time, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna understand that now.
yes, yes, yes. There was plus the soundtrack to that was just awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
That
It's
was a note that I had too.
what's funny is that's your quintessential 80s horror,
Uh-huh.
and it's actually categorized in a couple different horror categories, but your take. What would you say? I'm gonna let you lay it out for us.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, just it had like all the cheese of the 80s movies that I love, and it was just fun to just and the music, like you said again, like you said. But yeah, just watching, I was like, okay, yeah, there's definitely they're out, they're doing stuff. I like that it's not in your face
Yeah.
horror, but it was definitely spooky when it got spooky.
Oh yeah. Uh what was your favorite part?
I think the concert part,
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like right before everything goes to crazy.
Oh yeah.
NC-17, we're allowed to swear. Goes to shit.
Oh yeah. So funny thing is with that movie where they're on the beach and they're killing that one group
Mhm.
and you kind of see a sneak peek of like the head vampire biting them that guy in the head.
Yeah. I love
Well,
that.
so Kiefer Sutherland, who played that vampire, went on record and said that the scene when he was reading it was a lot more graphic because it showed him. It was supposed to show him bite the guy's skull, and then literally sit there and eat his brain.
Oh
But
man, I would have loved to see that.
oh yeah, but they said that that was too graphic. So
I mean, yeah, you got to keep that rating, right?
yeah, but it was good. And what did you think of like the comedy parts of it? Because there was a lot of comedy in it.
There was, yeah. It was a moment I'm like, this isn't exactly Shaun of the Dead level comedy, horror comedy, but yeah, it was really enjoyable. I love when they just kind of fit funny bits in. I was not expecting those.
Oh yeah, yeah, and a lot of the a lot of the people who saw this movie, whether it be the older generation or the newer generation, this was their first taste of the two Corys, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
Mhm.
What was funny is they have such good on-screen chemistry because they've worked together for so long
Uh-huh.
that it kind of just went hand in hand with the whole script.
Yeah, yeah, I really did like yeah the way that they interacted in the movie as well. It's just really it was a horror movie that was pleasant to watch. Those are my favorite kind.
Oh yeah, and it didn't cheat you on the blood. There was tons of blood.
Yes, you know
Yeah.
me. You know me and my blood.
Oh yeah. Uh, I mean, I wouldn't classify it. See, like it's a vampire horror movie,
Mhm.
but a lot of other people see it as a rock horror movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh yeah.
And also, I mean, for me too, I don't want to call it a vampire movie because Twilight left a bad taste in my mouth, so I'm like, I don't want anything to do with vampires. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Stop it, Ginny. I'm so sorry.
The surprise about the ending about who the like main vampire was kind of was a little bit shocking a little bit,
Yeah, definitely.
but what I another interesting thing is Alex Winter, the guy who played Bill in Bill and Ted was in this,
Uh-huh.
and he said in interviews that his first foray into horror and his only like journey into horror was this movie, but he said that it when he was reading the script that it just kind of played up to the part of he said it kind of reminded him of Bill and Ted, but only with a bigger group,
Mm-hmm.
which
I
I
can
could
see
get
that.
that. Yeah. Uh, what would you say would be like your least favorite thing about the movie?
I think the build up, like just how long it took to actually get into the action of it. Because I've talked about this before, like I wanted to immediately, like maybe 5-10 minutes of like introduction and blah blah blah. But I mean, again, once it built up, once we finally got to see the scary bits, like it was definitely worth it. But it was just like I felt like I was watching a rom-com up to that point.
Oh yeah, oh
I was
yeah.
just kind of like, really? What? Why did people want me to watch this? But okay, Lisa, just stick with it. Just watch. Just sit on your bed, watch the movie. No,
Oh yeah. It's it's a good movie. I liked it. What would you
I know
rate it?
you liked it. You have a poster of it.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. What would you rate it though?
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. That's a good rating.
Yeah,
I'm
no, I mean, I definitely am excited to watch it and to watch the other ones too. So,
oh yeah.
Ginny,
Yeah.
I
I
can't take you
will
back.
I will
That's my go-to throw when she gets barky.
Oh yeah. uh I would give it about an 8.5, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh so other than that, so we will be putting another poll up. Just come up with some movies. Uh One thing I would like to cover that we haven't covered yet is Anna and the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can cover that a little bit now and then do a full-fledged review of it later, or we could just wait to do a full-fledged review.
No, that definitely deserves its own episode. Let's wait.
Oh
And
yeah,
also that's an excuse to rewatch it for me.
that's true. uh
Yeah, that's another one that's just like always in my bedroom and always just like tempting me.
oh yeah. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I don't know, with Motor City Nightmares coming around and you're gonna be a vendor there. Outside of being a vendor, what would be one of your favorite things about this convention?
Just seeing all the people there that like either that I know or like new people I'm meeting and just being able to socialize with other horror weirdos like me. Like we know I've got all of my cool dresses that I have, but I've got a specific one that I'm gonna not wear until that event.
Oh yeah.
So psyched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um
Uh,
and yeah,
I
I
would
mean it's cheesy, but we are a family there. It does feel like a family
oh yeah.
culture.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the very few conventions you could go to where the people who work there are also your friends.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's a lot of conventions you go to where it's like, okay, I'm just here to do a job, you know? But like,
Been to a lot of those. Do not like those.
oh yeah. But Tommy, she makes it a point to where name drop, but she makes it a point to where she wants everyone to feel comfortable and at ease and ultimately that's what we love to do is feel, hey, the next person next to you might be a horror hound, but so are we, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the best part. Plus it gives us a chance to see close dear friends like the Wendigo Pictures
Yeah.
family, Walter Walter Esselman, who's a fantastic author. You know, him, Lisa, and Peggy are my three favorite authors. I don't care what anyone says. But I don't know. This year seems like they got a, I want to say almost a like an A+ lineup of people going to be there
hmm
also. You
Yeah.
know, and I mean they came out big last year when they announced Bruce Campbell.
I was gonna say, yeah, we had Bruce Campbell there last year.
Oh yeah. But this year they announced big first for the first time ever at a convention, I believe, is Mekhi Phifer.
Okay.
And
I've not been keeping up. I gotta see who's gonna be there this year.
oh yeah, of course, my favorite, who I met last year and who I'm going to meet again this year, is Felissa Rose. She's going to be there.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with some Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, this is true. That's an amazing series.
Oh yeah. Uh, I don't know. It's just this year seems a little bit more. I don't know. It just seemed like a lot happened between last year and this year.
hmm
Yeah. Speaking of Wendigo Pictures, I would like to take this moment to again congratulate Amanda Howell on her recent marriage to her husband Daniel, and we wish nothing but happiness forever for them. So, congratulations to you guys. I would also like to mention our close dear friend Abby from Motor City Nerds, who she, she's a good person. Go follow her. I'll say that. But yeah, it's just like I said, like you said, because you said it. We're all horror hounds, and we're a family.
Yeah.
You know. But let's go a little bit into your second book a little bit, because
Okay.
you seem to
I'm pretty excited about it.
yeah, and you were saying you were kind of hoping it would be done before Nightmares, and it looks like you're gonna be done.
It's gonna be, yeah. It's gonna be.
Oh yeah. uh
I'm gonna I don't have anything until 11 o'clock tomorrow, so I'm gonna stay up as late as I want tonight, and I no excuses, I'm gonna finish it.
oh yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
first draft. But like I've been sending it in chunks to my dad to proofread and be like, does this make sense? Is there any like continuity errors that I missed? So I
yeah.
mean, it's been what, 3, 4 years in the making. It's hard to remember what I put in there and what I did not.
Oh
So
yeah.
I just kind of sent off to dad like, first set of eyes, is this any good, first of all? And are there any typos, second of all?
Oh yeah.
So like I've got a file on my computer called the entire thing, and then I put the date that I like, and I'm like, okay, so I know that this is the final copy and there's no typos in here, fingers crossed. And yeah, I just like I had to go back and rewrite a couple bits recently, but those were a lot of fun, and like I have them in my head and just getting them out onto
Oh,
the keyboard.
oh yeah. I mean,
That was a lot of reading.
I can tell you though, when I got your first book and I was reading it, I didn't put it down until I was done.
That's amazing. That makes me feel so good. Like it's an in joke with myself, like, oh yeah, I have one fan, but no, honestly, it means the world to me that you liked my book.
Oh yeah. It was funny. I went back and I watched the very first video we ever did where I was actually interviewing you.
Mm,
And the way and this is all respect, the way you explained it back then to the way you're explaining book two,
mhm.
night and day. It's like you were happy, but now it seems like you're gleefully happy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, because what happened with book two is the same thing that happened with book one. Like the new characters are introduced, they're just like for that first year or two, they were just like names on paper, and I'm like, I know the characteristics, and like I know a little bit about them, but they weren't fully developed as people, like the characters in book one.
Oh yeah.
And like now I'm at the point where like I know these characters as people. I can remember, I can think of like different things that happen in their lives that are not necessarily in the book, but just I know in my head, like made this character this way.
Yeah.
And
Oh
that's the
yeah.
other announcement that I want to kind of make right now is once this book is published, I'm taking a break from writing novels and I'm just gonna get all my short stories out there about my characters so like y'all if you're interested, you can learn about their history and stuff. So that's kind of exciting.
Oh yeah.
Because writing those takes like maybe a day and a half. Again,
Oh
they're
yeah.
all here. Just takes like a day and a half or whatever to get it on paper.
Oh yeah.
So I can definitely pump out way more content that way.
All right. Well, audience, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. We just got an exclusive from Lisa herself. She will be taking a break, but you still have things you can look forward to.
Yes.
Always a
It's
good
just
thing.
because it's not going to be a full length novel doesn't mean it's nothing.
Oh yeah. And we're still hoping that one day it'll get turned into a franchise for motion pictures.
Yeah.
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 And I know that's something that you and I have talked about a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever we have like a director on here, I'm just like, maybe.
Oh yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. For the first half of this year, how has your year been?
I mean, pretty solid. I'm like really loving living back at my place and just being able to work on my book when I want to. Not loving having to show up at work at a scheduled time because now I have an actual job. But that's a whole different story. Um, just got diagnosed with OCD, like officially. That's fun.
Ain't
I'm
nothing
happy
wrong with that.
about that, yeah. Um, and my favorite author has a new book out. It's right here next to me, so
Oh,
that's been fun. I got my dad listening to an audiobook. Like,
yeah.
Dad, this book is so amazing. You got to check it out. He's like, I'll download it on Audible. Okay, Dad.
Oh, yeah. And
And I just
speaking,
remembered my dad watches this and he's gonna see that I did that. We can cut that out right now. I'm kidding. Book,
speaking of audiobooks, I've
How to
actually,
Make a Horror Movie and Survive. Craig
oh,
Dooley. Just got a shameless plug there.
oh
It's
yeah,
always with me.
ain't nothing wrong with that. Uh, we were at the, we were looking at books earlier, me, my wife, and my sister, and they pointed out a book. I'm not going to name the name of the book because it's kind of not politically correct, but I'm sitting there thinking like, and I was like, that is so on point. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll share it with you after this because
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
want
gonna
us to
say you're
get
gonna have to
banned.
tell me what it was.
Oh yeah, but as people can see, horror has a very big chunk in our lives, but we do have emotional sides. So I would like to thank everybody who has sent their, you know, well wishes and everything in a time that me and my wife had lost, you know. But we
Yeah, I'm
we
still
yeah.
super sorry about that.
Oh yeah. But hey, just think now we got another heavenly angel watching us, right?
Exactly. Yep.
They do say all dogs go to heaven, so
Yeah, you know. Yep. Yep.
oh yeah. Uh I don't know. I was having a conversation recently and I would like your take on this. So someone was arguing to point to me that The Exorcist was a comedy.
Um, that's what were they using as their argument? I need to know.
Well, they said, like the head spinning, the pee vomit, and all this other stuff. They like, oh yeah, that made me laugh. So I'm sitting here thinking like you're either A, really messed up in the head, B, that stuff just doesn't bother you, or
Mhm.
C, you're just not into those kinds of movies.
Yeah, I think it's more like you're if that type of horror doesn't strike your fancy, then yeah, it would come across as just goofy.
Oh yeah. Like this person also said it was borderline X-rated because of the crucifix scene.
Mm.
I'm sitting there thinking like you're a grade A jackass because this is a horror beginning to end,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it is.
And I don't know what would you, because I can't really go into detail on what I said because I don't want to get us banned because there was a lot of not good words. But what would you tell somebody who came up to you and said, hey, that comedy The Exorcist, and I'm sitting there thinking like, what would you think?
Like, yeah, I'd just be like, you say comedy, why do you say that? And I just want to have a discussion with them. I think it'd just be interesting to like pick someone's brain and be like, what? Okay, interestingly enough, though, the book that I just like showed you guys,
Yeah.
he's a horror movie writer, but like his most recent one, people were like laughing at it, and he's like, it's essentially a satire of my horror. So yeah, horror can turn to comedy like accidentally.
Oh yeah, yeah. So here's a good question because our episode today is titled "Poll Results in Gore" instead of more. Thought I'd be a
Yeah.
little bit funny there.
I liked it, yeah.
Uh, would you prefer? Do you prefer 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or new age horror? What horror do you prefer?
I think 80s.
80s?
Yeah. Although I will say the modern stuff's been really good, like yeah, but 80s for me is the go-to era.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. Have you seen In a Violent Nature?
Which one?
In a Violent Nature? It's it's good.
Hmm.
I mean, like the gore scenes alone is like wow,
Hmm.
but there's a lot of just a guy walking through the forest. But if you can get through that, I mean, it was good. There's one scene in particular that I'm like, that is such an inventive way of doing something. And when it happened, at first I'm thinking like, well, how is that possible? But then I'm thinking like, oh yeah, this is film. Let's,
Hmm. Yeah,
but
anything can happen.
oh yeah, but it was a good movie. So if you get a chance, I would say watch it.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah. Add that to the list.
oh yeah, I'm gonna be watching a movie today, probably right after we get off here, called Founders Day.
Okay.
It's kind of like Thanksgiving, which Thanksgiving I liked. That was a good movie. So Founders Day, I'm kind of hoping it's just as good, if not, you know, I could take a little bit less good, but if it's just as good, I'm happy. Yeah, I don't know though, but there's a lot of freaking horror out there that people just don't like. You know, like I like that obscure stuff too, but there are some movies I just won't touch, like slaughtered vomit dolls.
Yeah, that just sounds, yeah, no.
Well, yeah.
I can't even put words to how weird and bad that sounds.
So what's funny is my manager, who also is a horror fan, you know, he told me about this movie. Now I never heard of it, but then I find out it's a trilogy because he told me it was a trilogy. So
Oh.
I got through the first one and a half movies, and I was like, there was a scene that was just happening, and and then
Hmm.
I was like, and I told him I couldn't make it through the whole trilogy, and then it was like, oh, okay. So, but then I was like, well, you know what? Let me watch the whole trilogy. Wow, that's all I got to say is wow. Yeah. Like you can go online and you can go on YouTube and look at the trailers, and I can guarantee you'll be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to touch that. You know, but so let's give a little tidbit of a little again a little bit about your second book. So we are now how long after the first book?
Uh, I think I said it at 3 months they've been hiding out.
All right, and
Yeah.
you introduce
And
that
it's
whole.
like it's only just getting to the other area that the thing takes place, which is a college campus. So
Oh,
like it's
okay.
only just getting to them and they're like, huh, giant mosquitoes. So this we just need to not get stung by the mosquitoes, whatever. And then then they find out. And then they're like, well, okay, dead bodies though? Okay, dead body coming back to life. Okay, got it. Zombies.
Oh yeah,
Like
there's.
it's a process. Like it's denial, it's like, oh yeah, it's probably nothing.
Oh yeah. Oh, just like in every zombie movie, people don't, they see
Yeah,
zombies, they're
yeah.
like, what's going on? Uh,
And then the
so,
narrator, of course, knows everything, and she's like telling the audience, but she's not going to tell any of the kids because A, she's a zombie virus and they can't really talk, and two, why would you? Because she's so excited just like see all these creatures attacking these humans. It's really
oh
freaking dark. I love it.
yeah. So here's a question that I actually was asked to me from someone who I work with that read your book.
Oh, really?
they asked, would you rather, if you do a part three, would you rather see it from the zombie's point of view? Like if the zombie was able to, before they were turned into a full zombie, you saw their point of view. Would you do something like that? Or did you do something like that?
Yeah, read part two of book two is all I'm gonna say.
All right, all right. Yeah. So you introduce a new group though.
Yeah. But
So
they parallel the first group, so you'll kind of have an idea, and yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It's interesting on how me as a reader reads it as you as the writer writing it. It's like you write it a certain way in hopes that it comes out that way, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And then when the reader reads it and it comes out the way you wanted it, now doing a second book, does that amp up the ambition of doing bigger and better things?
I'm gonna be honest, that's why it's taken me so long. It's like, because every time I'm like, okay, I have something here. It's like, no, it needs to be as good as book one. This is not as good. Like, I am very much in my head about it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that though. You know?
I know, but
Yeah. But
just felt
I
bad
know
every
that.
year. I'd be like, oh, it's coming out soon. I totally promise. Yeah, no, Lisa, you're nowhere near finished. But now I am.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's okay though. It's I can, for the audience out there that's gonna see this, I can guarantee you the first book, which is called This Just In, a zombie novel by Lisa Fidel. Shameless plug.
Thank you.
No, definitely pick it up on Amazon because it is definitely worth a read. And plus, kind of well, not kind of, it helps Lisa be able to fund more projects, and ultimately that's what you want as an author, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fun to read from multiple aspects because you're gonna have, well, okay, until you read it, you don't know what you're gonna get, but you're gonna get something good. Like I can guarantee you, people will identify with characters. I can guarantee you, people are gonna love the violence because there's violence,
There's violence.
and I think just the interaction of the office party alone will draw people in because
Yeah.
once that party scene happens, it's like, okay, now we know it's all about to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And patient zero,
Yeah.
like that would be something I would love to see on film. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
me too.
And I don't know, it's just like, and call me crazy, but I would say so. Patient zero would be a middle-aged person, a little bit older, maybe. I would say, in my opinion, the way I was reading it, and this is my opinion, I would say go like if you're gonna make it a movie, go with an unknown. Don't go with
Yeah,
somebody known.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, if you go with someone too known and then that person's patient zero, then you're
Yeah.
not gonna get a lot of that person. Of course,
But we
my
know she has to be cute, so
yes, Selma Hayek would be good if you go with a
yeah,
well-known person,
yeah.
you know. But you do come up with a very inventive way that I've never read or seen in anything with a quarter.
I'll have you know, I just inputted the part about that into book two. I just wrote that scene for you.
Uh, awesome. That's like my favorite scene,
I
like
know.
that I read, and I don't know. It's like this book has kind of the people in this book they had no choice but to become a family,
Yeah,
a very dysfunctional family, but a
very
family,
dysfunctional.
and 80s throwbacks. I mean, that say anything moment at the end, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yep, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we got about 10 minutes left. We have exciting things coming up. We will be doing, don't know when yet, but we will be doing another live event of showing another movie. Not sure when, but future details will come out soon. Uh, July 26th, 27th, and 28th, we will be at Motor City Nightmares. Make sure if you're in Michigan, come see Miss Lisa Fidel, buy her book, see all the fun stuff. And if you see someone walking around with an NC-17 shirt, say hello.
Yeah, please.
But we have we will be having Harrison on, who is the owner and proprietor of Spin City slash Static Tape. We got some fun stuff coming up, but I would definitely say we're gonna do another poll. If not today, sometime this week. Lisa's gonna give us some more movies for her to watch, and whichever one wins. I'm gonna throw one out there right now. One that I don't know if you've seen, but it holds a dear spot in my heart. Demons.
Yeah, actually, I recently watched that for the first time and so good.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's like
Yeah,
Demons
we'll
1 and
have to do
2.
an episode on that because yeah, I loved it.
Oh yeah. Uh Next week we'll cover Anna and the Apocalypse.
Let's do it. Yeah,
That gives us a week to watch it. It was a good movie. I liked it. Uh
ones I have seen.
oh yeah. The, I mean, I don't want to give away too much, but there was one scene that just had me like, yep, I'm gonna watch this movie and I'm gonna love this movie. uh Book 2 is coming out sometime this year, next year, maybe
This year, yeah.
this year. So be on the lookout for that. Is there an official title yet or no?
Yeah. And I even know what I want the cover to look like. But yeah, it's Show Don't Tell, a creature feature, which is a double pun. So
Oh
proud of
yeah.
it.
I
And
like it.
each chapter for the new group is going to be titled after a creature feature, and each chapter for the old group is going to be a zombie movie.
Oh, that's awesome. That's all right. Yeah. See, you got me excited now. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of people we could thank, a lot of people we can shout out and everything like that. But I think now would be a time for us to kind of pull back a little bit on that and
Mm.
just mention our core group. You know, I mean, there is a new member who is not really a horror fan, but we are branching out into different genres. And Tyler Dunn has joined the NC-17 family. You can check out his videos on my Facebook or his TikTok or my TikTok. But fantastic bowler. Dude gets a strike almost every time. Would like to again shout out Abby over at Motor City Nerds. And definitely our sponsor, Spin City slash Static Tape. They have everything you need, and that's physical media. Yeah. So that being said, we got what 6 minutes left. Let's talk about horror life. Like us being horror fans, we are shunned upon by other groups because they don't understand horror.
Yeah. And
Now,
like we're somehow weird for liking it.
yeah, you know, like
But
I mean, don't take this the wrong way. A lot of people are like, they're like, Josh, I understand you horror. Then they look at you and they're like, Lisa looks so innocent, but she loves horror too. I was like,
yeah, yeah.
doesn't matter what you look like, it's
It
what you
really
like.
does not, no.
So I don't know, but what would be with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left? What would be something you would tell other groups about horror that don't like horror?
There's so many different levels of it because when those people when people in other groups think of horror, like they're probably just like, oh, they just like the slasher films, they just like the blood, they just like, but there's the psychological element, the final girl element that you have to think about. There's so much more to horror than just what you see on screen.
Oh yeah, yeah. And to be honest, most horror movies ain't just senseless violence through the beginning to end. They have
Yeah, it's like
story.
there's a reason that this is happening, and that's what always interests me.
Oh yeah, like Friday the 13th. I know we mention it a lot. First one, iconic. Mrs. Voorhees killing people because she thought they drowned her son.
Hmm.
Her son sees her get killed, then he takes up the mantle of killing everybody. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of those movies, but still, they all made sense. So I don't know. It's just weird. Uh, okay, Terrifier. There really was no story behind
Yeah,
Terrifier.
I kind of did not like that about Terrifier, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but
But there was plot
eh, there was more
ish.
plot in part 2 than there was in part 1.
That's true, yeah.
I don't know. Like The Collector. Have you seen The Collector?
Mhm.
Okay, that's a movie that I've never seen anybody talk about. Maybe once here or twice, but so long ago. I mean, that would be a good movie to cover too.
I think we should cover that one, yeah.
And then I don't know. There's a lot of movies coming out that I want to see, and again, not just horror like I do.
Yeah,
But mostly horror.
yeah, yeah.
I will say, stay away from tarot.
Big time.
So yeah, but yeah. All right, so we got 3 minutes left. I'm gonna let Lisa say her final comments, and then I'll say mine, and then we'll peace out of here. Go ahead, Lisa.
Just thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to talk about more horror movies in the future, and yeah, go vote on that poll that Josh is gonna put up.
Oh yeah. Special shout out to Lisa's dad. He's her ride or die when it comes to horror over there. So but yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna say it's been a great episode. I'd like to thank you for always being my ride or die when it comes to horror and NC-17. I like to thank your dog for chiming in and giving her opinion or his opinion.
She's fast asleep now. Of course, now she calms down.
This has been NC-17. This has been Poll Results in Gore. And until next time, I'm going to say stay NC-17.
Bye, guys.
Bye.